I'll be reacting to Dragon Quest The Adventure of DAI, episode 45. I will be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll be starting my reaction from the 1 minute and 41 second mark in 1-0 go. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na. Man, I just love that theme. Da-na-na-na. Because it's like the theme that plays when you know quality is about to arise, right in front of your very eyes. At least that's how I interpret that theme. Poor Saboreal. Well, not really. I actually do like how he's going to be proactive. And you know something I like about this? The odds of them finding DAI would be better if Zaborio's forces will collaborate with some of the other forces to find him. But I like how the series keeps on emphasizing that the Legion commanders, at least a good portion of them, have too much pride to do things like collaborative things of that nature. And that's what I really love about this series. I really do hope Chio steps it up after talking all that shit a few episodes ago, though. Aww. And the thing is, I don't have enough forces to spare in protecting Meryl. Even if her ability would have been super useful. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Pop has a spell to heat up his body temperature. And Crocodile's not even a... Yeah. Crocodile's not even a human, so he should be fine considering his skin. Oh, boy. Oh, that thing's kind of cute. Kawaii. I don't think it should be making fun of the thing, though. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing is a beast or it's got beast-like abilities. I like when it's like that sound effect is too adorable. Okay, I thought for a second he was gonna have a spell or something to actually warm up his body. Oh man. Well, then again, with Dai's blood, it is possible. It's a shame they don't have any tracking spells, though, to make the job easier. I'm assuming it's about to be Gio's time to show the fuck off. I like how he looks absolutely smug right now. Not even paying mind to what Pop's saying right now. Whoa! Aww, I think it's wrong. I wonder if Manowar is the actual name of that cutesy little creature in a Dragon Quest game. Now, I'm about to look that up later. Bullshit. Yeah, I even like how Pop's face, too. Has absolute doubts. Okay, that is impressive. You know what? I'm starting to warm up to you there. At least here he's proving his weight at the very least in doing that. Going... Aww. Hey, exactly. That at least proves that Dai's going to be somewhere in the surrounding vicinity at the very least. Oh! I mean, hey, you got to keep your promises. I mean, hey, the little metal war creature actually did its job, so for actually getting a little bit pissy towards Chiyu. That's some damn good dialogue there. Because it could have just been, I saw finding the dialogue would have been nice, but having that little detail where it doesn't matter if we switch through hundreds and thousands of icebergs, actually a little bit more gravitas to pops the words there. Now that's the type of stuff I really love about Dragon Quest. Let's hope someone can actually sense it, or oh. Yo, the Beam-Man animation actually kind of looks like Goku's Kamehameha animation. Okay, that's actually a pretty dang cool application of the ability there. It kind of makes me feel bad for Chiyo a little bit. I mean, hey, it could be worse. I mean, at least he found Dai's crown. He can at the very least claim that feat. It did. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, thankfully, though, at the very least, Saboria's search team doesn't look that strong. It feels like something like even Crocodile can take care of solo. It's Crocodile we're talking about. Yeah, exactly. Now, if there was like a Legion commander, then maybe I'd be worried for Crocodile. But those are like fodder tier enemies. It'd probably be like casual exercises for Crocodile to take all those creatures on. And this is nice because lately they haven't really given much for Crocodile to do. Well, at least after the Baron arc, so. Wait! Are we going to actually see him throw it out against Saboria? So they have all the right to be there. Because honestly, if we're going by arguments as to who has the right to be in there, it's whoever's the strongest individual. I just always throwing verbal jabs towards Saboria. Oh, damn! Oh, man, that is fucking awesome. It's finally nice to get to actually hear someone verbally shout Saboria. I've been waiting for this shit. Hopefully, we also get to see Zaboria's head lopped off. I mean, I know it probably won't be lopped off, but at least Zaboria killed. I'll be satisfied with that. Neither that or Zaboria really overestimated the capabilities of his own forces. I'm kind of noticing that the animation quality in this episode is a little bit restrained. It's not bad, though, by means. It's restrained in comparison to some of the other Dragon Quest episodes. But it's all good. Because at least, okay, now that scene with our boy utilizing the flame sword, and that looked good. And I do love that about Chiyo, too. Even though, yes, he ain't the strongest character, he will try his damnedest and his hardest to get things done. That's actually something endearing about him. Even though, yes, he's an underdog, he's a pretty damn lovable underdog. I'm assuming that's the warrior that is in the episode title. That's going to be quite the tough task, though, if, say, Bjorn orders anyone else to go after Dying Company, though. So, well, yes, that warrior's probably going to be able to maybe rein in Zaboria. And then be able to rein in everyone in every single scenario. He does. What, does he have some kind of ceiling spell or something? I hope he didn't accidentally make things worse. Oh, never mind. Yeah, boy. Honestly, yeah. I mean, Man would obviously want to rescue Dad, but Man wouldn't have had the magical capabilities of pulling off what Pop pulled off here. He doesn't really deserve that much praise, though. I mean, at best, he got the crown. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't underestimate things just by the size. Sometimes things are more dense than they actually appear. Wait, it's actually about. Oh. It's actually nice to get to see Zaboria actually act seriously for once. You know, normally like doesn't need to explain the ability, but in this instance, it makes sense considering Zaboria is actually someone completely prideful. I'm assuming Crocodile's gonna do something, or oh boy! I really hope we get a plot explain. I mean, I understand the plot explanation as to why, because Hadler wants Dai and Dai's friends for himself. But that probably would have been the best opportunity for Dai to be taken out in the series. I'm just saying. But in a way, though, some leaders in the past have been taken out because of their sheer pride and their sheer hubris. I mean, what that dude is, it looks like a freaking badass. Yo, you know shit's real when that's the kid. Even his name is badass. Okay, that's the pawn. I really want to imagine what type of strength the other pieces have. Considering that he was able to, block the flame attack, I don't think his simple knives are going to be able to do anything. Yeah, you can definitely tell the animation quality is off this week because, like, when you see the creatures punch, the impact animation is kind of weak. And you don't see, like, the wings flapping as they're falling into the air. It feels like Toei's taking, like, a picture and just having the animator just slide it down without having to do much, like, leg work and adding key animation. to draw the motion, at least for this week. The flame style attacks still look good, though. Yeah, I'm surprised he actually thought that a lower level would have actually worked, but then again, desperation. I have a feeling he's got some weaknesses, though. Okay, that's pretty damn impressive. Although I guess that probably Baron can harm that man if he has a blade that's powerful enough to destroy it. Oh. So that means anything that's made with the Oreo can actually cause him damage then. You know, I like how Hadler's new sense of honor is actually also bleeding towards his own subordinates too, actually. That's nice. Hey, you know what? That's nice. I like how directly from an okay, yeah, the animation with Crackle Knight's creature going down is bad because you don't even see its wings flapping when you saw it flap earlier. I can only hope this means that Toei isn't starting to have struggles animating Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai, though. Because remember one of my laugh chat comments, they mentioned that the series has halfway adapted the series on the previous week. So I can only hope that it isn't a case where the first half is animated amazingly well, but the second half is animated amazingly bad. Sort of like what happened to Promised Neverland, where its first season was animated great, second season was like, oh, a disaster piece to say the least. It's actually impressive that Dai can still talk. It just shows his tenacity. I mean, hey, they can't be picky. I mean, dude is drained. Aww. It's nice seeing Mammon Gomachan again. Joe, you did almost nothing. I mean, I did have the lion's share of the epic moments, so I ain't gonna blame him. Aww. Okay, that person is gonna be whipped or some shit like that. I like the irony here, especially considering that Zaborio's main attacks that he was utilizing were flame spells too. But honestly, though, Zaborio's credit spell is actually good. I mean, the crazy part is if the pawn is that strong, I don't even want to imagine the other pieces of the early Killiums, though. Oh my. Oh boy. All right, him. The badass. Okay, Sigma looks fucking cool. I like the sharp design of Fan Brand. Fitting, especially with the character design too. Okay, Alameda's looks damn cool too, actually. That explains quite a bit. I love the grand amounts of confidence he's got too. You know, Bjorn's saying that, but Hal doesn't seem too satisfied at that perspective possibility. I wonder if it's because he's doesn't seem too excited about the perspective possibility because he has the mindset of there's still work to be done and he still needs to defeat Dai, and that's why. Or maybe it's something subtle. Maybe there is going to be a situation in the series where maybe he'll try to gain more power to eventually try to overthrow Bjorn eventually. Yes, I know the previous episode did establish that Heather acknowledges that Bjorn is way above his league and all that. So I know there was that bit a few episodes ago. Well, who's to say he doesn't change his mind, though? I mean, people in life do have a tendency of changing their minds. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but I'm not going to discount that possibility. Now, as for the episode itself, it was actually good, but it actually did feel, I'm going to be honest, I liked it. First, let me give out the rating. If I were to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for it was good. But it definitely was the weakest Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai episode by far. I ain't gonna lie, it was. From a visual standpoint, it was the weakest. Which I'm gonna intently observe the previous animation quality. Maybe it was just a 1 week thing and it'll be normal next week. Oh yeah. The quality's back. Yeah, all right. Just by the facial expressions and the effects animation and the slow-mo. Okay, looks like episode 44. 45. What am I saying? It looks like episode 45 not looking as good as the usual Dragon Quest episode. It's just a fluke then. And it seems like it's going to be a one-time thing because, yeah, the quality for the next episode looks like it's up to the series' usual standards. Well, you know what? I'm not going to be too hard on the animation team because, for the most part, most of the episodes in the series have looked good. And you can tell, at least when it comes to anime, Toei definitely tries their best almost every week. So I'm not going to be hard on them. Like what I'll say Digimon 2020. Another Toei anime. Digimon 2020. I am hard on that one because Toei does take the piss with that series sometimes. They don't want this series, so I'm not going to be too harsh. I just got to comment on it so that y'all don't think that I'm being too biased in the favor of Dragon Quest because when I react, don't worry. Even if I love a series, I'm going to make sure if it does something wrong, I'll acknowledge it. Just so y'all know. I'm not going to just ignore things straight up. So don't worry about that. But regardless of that, the episode had a lot of good content because, for one, at least you do see Chio trying to be useful. Yeah, they've had him mostly as a gag character. But seeing him actually try, like, negotiate with a beast to try to help him find Dai was actually a nice little scene. And to the episode's credit, something that I also liked about this episode too, I like the fact that for this one, you even get some nice bits of character development for Adler, but more of it because literally there was a primetime opportunity of Dai and Pop being destroyed because he could have easily had him knock the fuck out of Zaboria, and then they could have just had him completely destroy Pop and Dai, and that would have been enough to probably be in the favor of Vierne because at that point, Dai and Pop will be dead, and Haller can just take all the spoils of victory and all that and be done with it. But you know something I really love about this episode? I even love how Incan and Yum even mentions that he does not want that victory to be done dishonorably, and they're even going to give Dai and Pop time to train. I love stuff like that because at the very least, it's going to be preventing at least viewers to wonder, man, why don't they just finish off all the forces at once? Well, It's because they want to have honorable fights. And that's why. And that's the type of stuff I love to see, because some anime, especially some done from Toei, have characters that are in canon dishonorable, and they don't finish off the crew of the main characters when the main characters in a series have a chance of finishing off. I mean, not the main characters, but the villains in a series have a chance of finishing off the main characters right then and there. So that's where I gotta give Toei credit, because when you watch a lot of Toei animes, like say Digimon 2020, you're like, why doesn't the anime just send all their mega evolved foes to take out Taichi and company before the Digimon learn how to gain ultimate and mega forms? And not the Toei anime. Or when they watch a Link of Pretty, it's like, why don't they just have all the villains just gang up on the main characters? Especially because in that series, the villains in Healing Good Pretty Cure, in canon, aside from Dairozen, in canon, the villains in that series are dishonorable. And it's like, makes you question the common sense of not just the antagonist, but also the writing staff. But at the very least here, I don't have those fears, because instantly answered my question as to, why don't they finish it off? Because they want a really honorable fight. And that's why I got to give credit to stuff like that, because as someone who watches a lot of Toei anime, it's fucking nice seeing this. I wish more Toei anime actually did this. And don't get me wrong, here's another Toei anime that I thought was actually really good. I love Gegege no Gitaro, but sometimes in that series, when you add some of the enemies have ample opportunity to finish off Gitaro, I'm like, you can finish him off! And then the writing stuff will have, like, the enemy characters just fucking go away when they have the chance of finishing off the main character, or some stupid shit like that. Thankfully, this series doesn't have that, because in canon acknowledges why the villains don't do that. That's why that stuff like that is important to me, because as someone who watches a lot of Toei anime, it's nice seeing Toei learn from their mistakes in this series. Although I could also be that the source material for Dragon Quest Adventure DAI is that good. But nonetheless, I'll give credit where credit's due. Now, there are other things to like about the episode too, though. I do love how it gave Crocodile an active role in taking out at least a good portion of Zaboria's army at the very least. That was nice. And it was nice actually getting Zaboria, actually getting to see him actually get his hands dirty for once. That's actually a nice rarity and a nice treat. I am surprised the series didn't do that earlier. But hey, better late than never. And those are fun scenes too, because it gives Zaboria a lot of characterization too. Because aside from reaffirming that he's dirty as hell, it does show you that he actually is a pretty damn great planner at just a drop of a hat. Because honestly, his plan of trying to finish off DAI and Pop was actually really good, to his credit. It's just he ended up with the bad hand when naturally the forces of Hadler showed up to intercept him. So sucks, but sometimes in life you just gotta deal with bad luck and bumps in the road. And that's something I enjoy about this series too, where it was shoots of characters with Hadler being still honorable, Zaboria still trying to utilize his dirty tactics. And in addition to that, I love how it further reinformed the bond between DAI and Popper. Even though DAI is in bad shape, he was able to have enough strength to make a signal and to scream out Pop's name. I love that bromance in the series. It just makes the relationship that Pop and DAI have much more wholesome and much more awesome to watch. That's what I thought the episode had a good amount of character and story beats too. The voice performances in the episode were absolutely amazing. And yeah, pretty much the only weakness was the animation quality. And even with the weak animation quality, the episode was still good. And to its credit, it's still better than some of the seasonal animes I'm watching. Like, literally, this series is still better animated than Detective Is Already Dead, and that series is a seasonal. It's better animated than I'm Sending a Million Lives, and that series is seasonal. So even despite this episode being a weak effort, it's still a tier above some of the seasonal animes, which should have an advantage over this series, because this series is a long runner, yet it kicks the ass of those two series. So that's why I gotta give credit where credit's due, regardless. Even if the animation quality is not that great, I'm not gonna be too hard like I usually am in other anime because this series usually does its job visually. And yeah, these are my thoughts on the episode, y'all. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all later if you come back for more because I'm definitely going to be reacting to the next episode. And I recommend y'all subscribe if you want to see my reaction to the next episode. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all very much for watching the video. And I hope y'all have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.